Hello and welcome to the Blackout Podcast, where I get to talk to amazing people who do amazing things. And today I have two amazing women
Thank you.
in the studio today. They run from Entity. Irene and Mukisa, thanks for coming to the podcast today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Okay,
I'm excited
so-
to be here.
Oh yeah, me more. You all look lovely. It's always great to
As
be.
we do.
It's always good to be in company of people that just make going and smile all the time. So Femme Entity, let's talk about that. How did that come about?
Well, basically, when COVID happened, Irene and I did a lot of reflecting, and we learned a lot about ourselves in terms of our feminine and masculine energy. And we went on this journey of self-awareness and, just trying new things. And we wanted to share that with the world. So it's really just an organization about self-care, community, and empowerment.
We noticed also that throughout the pandemic, everyone was so keen on jumping on the self-care train, which was fabulous and it's great. And then when the go back to work happened, it was really like we gotta make up for the time that we lost, when really none of that time was lost. We actually gained by understanding ourselves. So bringing more emphasis on it's okay to take some time to yourself, and you don't have to always be going in order to be productive.
Yeah. It's really about valuing the feminine energy of resting and allowing your body to get what it needs.
So, okay, and I'm like super.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But I'm gonna ask this because I'm like super lay person here. I don't know about much. Like I have friends that talk about energy, but I don't know much about it. And from what I understand as a person, I'm a guy and stuff. Like I still have feminine energy, even though So like break that down for me.
Yeah, I love that you acknowledged, because a lot of men are kind of more about shying away from that and really staying in the masculine. So I love that you acknowledge that you have feminine energy, but it's really just about finding the balance of the two. Yeah.
So when we break down masculine and feminine energy, if you are someone who you have an urge to constantly be going, or if someone were to ask you, what's your favorite hobby? And you say, well, I work. You're encompassed in your masculine.
That was Irene.
That was high.
Wait, how is that a hobby? No.
Exactly. Right. And feminine, when you're in your feminine, you acknowledge that you have a creative side, you have a passion for things that are beautiful, or you want to acknowledge your body and give yourself rest and the nutrients and the restoration that you need. Whereas a masculine person is driven to see an end result. They like the planning, they like the organization. So that's kind of how the two are separate. But when you use them together, you can use the planning of the masculine to fulfill the dreams of your feminine. So that's kind of how that intertwining works. Whereas if you're only ever working, then how are you creating the end result that you want? Or how are you really getting to your full potential if you're not utilizing that extra part of you?
Exactly. The feminine energy is like a lot about just being and existing, and the masculine energy is like doing.
Being and doing. I think as human beings we need both though.
You do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because so I'm on this project management train, and it's like so cool because you plan stuff, but at the end of the day you need to take time for yourself, right?
Yes.
Sometimes I find myself doing things at ungodly hours, and like, okay, I need to like just back away and not do anything and just, so okay. But how did you two meet though?
Oh, honey.
We met back in the day at good old Dalhousie.
Way at the student, so what was it called before the Bissett Center?
The Career and Leadership Development Center.
The Career and Leadership, the CLDC. So she was already working there when I joined on, and I was just like this keener. I wanted to be involved in everything. And she was she was the person that I went to when I needed help. When I was
like you were the person everyone went to when they needed help. It was like, Irene. Yeah, so we did a lot of like leadership conferences together and just like different events on campus. And I saw that Irene was like really good at event planning. So I was like, I like her.
And she is really great in making me understand taking a break, calming down, or like looking at the big picture, because I get so focused on like I need ABCD done before da 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 da. But she's really good at making me take a step back.
We have time.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So that's how we balance each other out really well.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing though, Femininity is amazing, but one thing I've been on a roll with watching too many document. Well, the pandemic started it. And I was just watching a lot of documentaries, and one of the things is like friends shouldn't start a business together. How are you two making it work?
I think the best part about our relationship is because we have established boundaries and respect prior to
that is actually what came out of that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut it, but yeah, you're right. Like that's what came out of that documentary. The guy, like he started this company with his friend and it was great. But he's like, the one discussion that we didn't have was like, who is doing what, and like, you know, what is the boundary.
Yeah.
So
that's something we did. It took, and it's also a conversation that we both acknowledge is really awkward for a lot of people, because it's like this is
to get uncomfortable.
But we're also used to that uncomfortability with each other.
We go there. We're not afraid to go there.
Even when I don't want to go there.
There's always open lines of communication, though. We both like make each other feel comfortable in the situation.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's nothing we can't talk about.
No, and we both understand that me and her are working towards a same end goal. So whenever we get into a dispute, it's just because we're both seeing different sides of the way that we can succeed.
Yeah, that is so true.
If we work together to find a compromise, at the end of the day, this is where we want to end up. We're just both hitting heads trying to get there.
You want to work with someone that you can still hang out with and then still say, I don't agree with that.
Yes. Yeah. And we've done that very many times.
We always work through it and make sure we're both seeing why that decision was made. It's never just a unilateral decision from either end.
Yeah.
So, checking out Femininity, y'all are like front and center on the Halifax Chamber of Commerce site and all that stuff. But something that also came up was an event you did. You want to talk about that? Like, I can't remember the name of the event, but you had like different...
the Sexy Girl Party.
Right.
Sexy Girl.
Yeah, so it was all about...
Actually, I know the name. I didn't want to see it.
You're scared, yeah. For some reason, people get a little bit shy about it.
It's okay. We were sexy girls, and it's okay to be a sexy girl.
Yeah, we had a little Sexy Girl Party. It was way out in Waverly, which actually isn't that far out. It was just like on the water, and it was just a bunch of girls and businesses coming together. So we worked with Rich Wax, Voda, I'm with Periods.
And we had also 2 photographers on site. We had Julia Photography, we had Carmen D Lee, and then also Kelsey Captures was also involved in the Sexy Girl planning. And the whole purpose of it was just to give women an opportunity to adventure into parts of themselves that they might not naturally see themselves as sexy, but they are. We as a woman is sexy.
I really loved seeing everybody's take on sexy with like how they were dressed. Like one of my friends wore like a satin dress. Some people actually wore lingerie, which like so bold. I love it. Go for it. But it was all just like very supportive, and it was just a nice environment. We had music, we had sushi, like we learned also about our menstrual cycles, which is probably something you don't talk about ever.
No, it's funny, like some people, like I pretty much raised most of my cousins, so like I know about periods and pads and tampons,
we
and
got into all those
the one that kind of throws me off is a Diva cup, because it's like
throws off even the women. That's okay. It throws off the whole community. That's okay.
But they're more environmentally friendly.
Right. That's what I'm learning. I think for, like with other ones, it's kind of like single use pretty much. But like the Diva cup is like, rinse and go.
Yeah.
But
rinse and go.
It's just pretty much. So, it was a bit of a learning curve for that one. And I'm like, I've never had I kind of read articles, and like some guys are uncomfortable to go to the, like, to me, it's easier to get tampons than to get Pampers? If you know what I'm saying.
No, I just think it's all part of my grocery list. Like, I need this is what's happening to me today.
Right.
I need you to get my pads. I also want bananas and a little bit of eggs, please.
Right.
So like, and then if you bring them back, your
All goes in
woman
the cart.
will naturally be happier because she doesn't have to do it herself. Because there's a lot already going on, and
That's a pro tip for the boys.
yes.
Yeah. And also the hot water bottle. You have to have
Oh, you
that.
gotta have a hot
You have
water
to have that,
bottle.
or like the blanket that plugs in.
Okay, you know your stuff.
I know my stuff.
Fancy. Even blanket
Yeah.
that plugs in. I remember I didn't get one of those until first year university, and I thought that was the fanciest thing ever because up until
heated
that,
blanket,
I had like
yeah.
one of those magic bags that you put into the microwave. I had that.
My mom had one of those.
I still use it, but I was just when I upgraded to my electric blanket, I was like, oh my gosh, did I just make it? Did I just make it in my life
Right.
of comfort?
in your dorm room.
How did you choose the different businesses that you invited to this event?
We were really focused on the message that each business wanted to deliver. So we really, and it was also our first time too. So I met Voda Experience at a mom market, and I resonated with her energy and her passion for wanting to share self-care. And I was just like, I need to have you, or like, I want to make your message more amplified. And then with I'm with Periods, it's just, she has a PhD in women's reproductive health. Who else has that?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I learned
And
so much
she's
from her.
Just such a sweet person.
She
and
is.
She has so much knowledge. So we definitely wanted her to bring that knowledge there. All of us were learning about our own bodies. Like, wow, I didn't even know this about my body.
And I have the body,
but I know now. And
Right.
Yeah.
she has this book called Self-Care Down There. And we had
A book?
Yeah, she has a book. So she was giving it out to people after we did the little period trivia that she made up. So
that nobody was successful in, but it was really fun.
it was definitely a unique party.
Yeah, and then Rich Wax, she
Okay, wait. So every time I hear wax, I don't know if you've seen the 40-year-old virgin.
yes.
Do you
A
know the
while ago.
scene where he was getting his chest waxed?
You know that was real?
Yes. So every time I hear wax, that's like it's like my mind just jumps to that film. Like, is that really the?
Well, I think, and I've been told that I have a higher pain tolerance than people.
Oh.
So not to say that men are weak, but I don't think it hurts. It's just like and then you're like, oh, done.
I don't know about that. Like, I was like, ah!
This is also a lot more sensitive of an area, I must say.
Right.
Steve Carell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he dealt with. So I thought it was great for cinema.
Oh, it was a funny part in the movie. Okay, so
Yeah.
Rich Wax, you were
Yeah,
saying.
so Rich Wax, she does so many cool things also with vaginal care. She does V-steamings that I think are fantastic.
I saw that one on Instagram. Like, what?
Yeah, so they were offering that at the party if you wanted to try it. Kourtney Kardashian
Yeah,
does me
Kourtney.
steaming, and she swears by it.
So like Kardashian,
And
come
you know,
on.
Kourtney has that calm energy. So if you want to get like that,
You just go and sit on it. So, how long is it for? Like, is it a
I
certain?
believe she did it for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's like
was
20
it
minutes.
25 minutes. But it's just like if you ever went to any kind of detoxifying face mask or a steaming on your mask, same kind of thing, but to our feminine core. So you just kind of sit on a box, and she has all these herbals, the water, and you just kind of sit on it, chat, have a nice time,
yeah.
ask how
she
your
has,
day's
like,
going.
Well, floral. She has a little package of like florals.
So,
and things that are good for you that they put in the water, and then the steam just kind of helps your body sort of
Relax.
move things around.
Yeah.
Is it like something you have to go to do? Is it something you can do for yourself?
Yes, and
Yeah,
yes.
you can. You
Oh,
can definitely
okay.
Yeah. You can go to Rich Wax to get one done and try it with your friends. Or you can also, there's also portable ones that we're trying to get ourselves too, that you can just sit on and have like, a little group of people steaming together.
So this isn't a one-off thing then. Like the party is not a one-off. It's gonna you plan another one soon.
I think we're gonna do them annually.
Oh, okay.
So once a year we'll have them, and maybe have different themes and stuff, so
Right.
everyone is comfortable.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going on this learning thing, and one of the things I'm learning is you have to have a subscription business, and that is what you ladies are doing. How did that come about?
A big part of it really was we have a component of Fementity is our learning management system. So for those who don't know, it's just if you know a Udemy or anyone that's taken any kind of online school, yes, that online learning system, for a lot of consultants and businesses, it's expensive to start that or to put something up. By working with Dalhousie students, we've been able to create that with low overhead costs. And so to use that service that we're creating, we're just like, well, how do we want to have this accessible for people? They can create a journey that wants for them. And that's how we kind of leaned into memberships, because we want that information accessible for people at an appropriate and reasonable price, but also have it at a very high quality with a lot of back-end data that people can give a lot of information, and it can be a portal, a hub for your self-knowledge.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're basically creating a website that centralizes both Fementity and also other local businesses. And it's women-centered, but all-inclusive. So whatever you need for your self-care, you can find through us.
And what are the different levels? I mean, I remember on the website, but it's kind of...
Yeah, so we have different subscription levels. So it depends on how much content you want and how much learning that you want to do on the self-discovery journey. But we have Princess, which is the first one. And then we have Queen and Empress. And Empress would be like the premium package with all of the goodies.
So you get everything in Princess and Queen in Empress, right?
Exactly. It just builds onto it. Yeah. So we have like just different self-care activities, different quizzes. Do you know like the Myers-Briggs personality test? Stuff like that, where you can just get to know yourself and increase your self-awareness.
INTP, INJ.
Yeah, all those acronyms.
But more around like feminine and masculine energy and who you are and
whether
what kind
you have
of
wounded energy,
you
wounded
emit,
masculine,
and what you want to embody. I mean, we kind of help you get there.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
We have been working hard.
Okay, and the other thing you did is you launched the Queen's Mentality podcast.
We did.
Why did you feel you needed that channel?
There is so much to feminine, masculine energy, and the most common is that there's a lot of myths or uncertainties around it, and not just that, but also words like manifestation and higher self, or even just like some people need to listen to what even self-care is. And so to offer a podcast just to talk through those weird, different kind of conversations.
Yeah, maybe you're interested in self-care, but you're not ready for the full journey. So you just want to listen to an episode, maybe 20 minutes. We want to ease people into the lifestyle.
Or if you want to go to find some more information about what it means or what it could entail, shadow work perhaps, then definitely our podcast could be an area that you can go venture in first.
Wow.
Yeah. We have so much to share and just so much to like demystify around feminine and masculine energy. We sometimes get comments on our posts saying like, this is kind of an outdated way of knowledge. Like, shouldn't we get away from genders and get more into the 21st century? But we feel like we want to be able to take this like ancient knowledge that we've had for so long and apply it to today.
Because man, the foundation is important, right? Like you have to have a solid foundation. Okay, so something that you two are great at is Instagram, right? Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
We're both like,
So what is your approach to like your social media for Fementity?
Well, I think we really like to get our energy and put it out there. So that's why we have like reels and videos of us just like having fun and being silly, which is also part of your feminine energy. And then we also have more like knowledgeable posts. So that we have a series called Self-Love Summer. So we're just going through little bits and pieces of how to incorporate self-care and self-love into your daily life.
It really, we do try to have a lot of intention with like what we choose to do, the message that we put out there. So that's also like going back on our open communication constantly. We're like, does this match what we want to put out? Like, does this match the brand that we're trying to build? And we really try to center ourselves around intention. And then also, like, having a nice color-coded pattern doesn't hurt either.
yeah, that is actually true. Oh my God.
Aesthetics is nice.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to let you go, but I want to ask you to this question now. It's launched, it's out there in the world. What other things are you doing? Like, what's in the kitchen? What's bubbling
cooking?
on that egg? What's cooking? Thank you very much. Yes.
What's cooking? I would say our little baby shop boutique Level Up.
Yep.
We have recently launched a upcycle line, which means we've taken pre-loved clothes, we like to call them, and we're recreating them into new pieces.
Oh.
So I would say definitely stay tuned for that drop.
Okay.
We're kind of becoming little fashion designers and
just
reworking clothing and obviously running our boutique, which is just like a secondhand shop like the Loot or the Change Room, which we love.
Yeah, we love both of them.
And what's it called?
The Loot or the Change Room.
No.
Ours
Level Up Boutique.
Oh.
Kind of we're leveling up.
Yeah.
You get
Oh
it.
my God. Okay, it's always fun to talk to you.
You
I want to
too.
say thanks for giving me the time and thanks for making the studio a lot more beautiful.
Thank you.
You're such a charmer. Thank you so much for having us.